Here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
PyroPimps.
Greetings and salutations, all you PyroPimps fans. Welcome to the third show. And as you probably read on the webpage, Kyle's not here this week. I think he's up there in North Carolina. He's looking for Rudolph, trying to get that $1 million so we can get us a real studio and some real equipment. But fortunately for us, we have special guest sitting in here, like he hasn't been on the other shows or something. But please give us a big hand, a big warm welcome for Pizza Man.
Thank you. Good to be here. First off, I just want to say hi to Kyle. I hope things are going well up there in whatever the hell that state is. Look forward to seeing you when you get back. We got some cool stuff planned for tonight's show. Hopefully we got an interview with Blue, and got the rants and the news coming on. So, hello everybody out there. It's good to be here. I'll get back to Hal.
Hey man, say something funny, because everybody seems to think you're just like the funniest guy on the planet. So say something really funny right now.
Okay, here's the funny thing. This is the Pizza Man's tip. The Pizza Man's tip for this week is, don't stare at the sun. Is that bad?
That'll work. Yeah, that's good general information for all of our listeners. Somebody somewhere is laughing.
Nice.
No. Anyway, well, let's see. We'll just cut. See what we got in the old mailbag today.
Cool.
Any mail for me while I was gone?
Hey, we just want to start out tonight by thanking everybody out there who has put up a link to the PyroPimps site. You know, that really helps us since we're first getting started out, and, you know, the more hits, the better.
We got tons of email, people giving suggestions and whatnot.
More sounds, less sounds.
Well, most of them were more sounds, but there was, one guy, he said, don't use so many sounds, but we won't mention his name, Demetrov.
You are the lowest form of life on Earth.
The main thing was, suggestions on what other kind of segments we could have, and one of them was playing tactics for Descent or Quake or whatever. Since Kyle's not here, I guess I'll do the Descent tactics for this week, even though I'm not that much of a Dissenter. So I guess my Descent tactic would have to be when someone fires the fusion, dodge it.
Just don't get hit.
Yeah, don't moth. Mothing's bad. It's pretty, it's purple, it's coming at you.
I love you.
You don't want to touch it.
Right.
So, Pizza Man, do you have some playing tactics to give our audience?
Well, actually, on a more serious note, I play Quake a good deal, and I don't actually know if some of you would know this or not, or maybe some Descent players who are just getting started out in Quake 2, but I don't know, one of the more helpful things that I've done in Quake 2 is run backwards and side to side a lot. Let me kind of put it in perspective, and I don't want to rant too much about it, but if you're running backwards, the people that are chasing you will eventually have to run in a straight line to chase you, and then it's just a matter of pegging them. Boom. So, I guess that's my tactic. And don't get hit.
Yeah,
don't moth.
Don't ever stand around. I see a lot of standing around.
Feet planted.
Yeah, that's just like you're asking to be railgunned if you stand around.
Oh, and use the keyboard always.
Mr. Peters, that's sarcasm.
Well, actually in Descent, it's kind of the same thing as, I don't know if the Descent community calls it camping, but just to sit there in one spot and wait for somebody to fly by or run by or whatever is, it's
or you like
not a good idea.
Sitting in a cave or something, just waiting for somebody to open the door. I always hate that, but usually because I suck so bad at Descent, I have to do that.
And by the way, they're not really caves; they're mines. In the news this week, start off here with the D3 FAQ. I've been bugged by Ars and Prez and all those guys on IRC about mentioning something about this, but they've assembled the massive D3 FAQ with everything you'd want to know about Descent 3. And here's the URL in case you've been in a cave or something, as Pizza Man would say, a cave, for the past couple weeks. It is 205.150.88.64/ARSENTIA/D3FAQ. And that's got all the information I think it's pretty much direct from the source from Outrage Guys on D3.
Groovy.
And speaking of direct, Microsoft released its long-awaited DirectX 6 this week, and just to kind of let you guys know that it's out there. That's Microsoft.com/DirectX. One thing though, Microsoft, a README would be nice, or maybe some sort of information on the page about what it does. There was a short little one-paragraph thing that just said it basically makes everything more stable and run a little better.
Yeah, that's a fat chance. They don't even include a README, so it probably just doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, but at least it changes your version numbers. And
well, that's important.
one thing I did like, though, it was actually a real small download. It was only like 1.6 meg, which is unusual for anything that Microsoft puts out. But real quick, if anybody does know where a README or a site is that has some information about DirectX 6, because damn if I could find one, email me and let me know at the PyroPimps site.
Deal with it, pink boy!
Also this week, the release of D1X, which is a version of the Descent 1 based on the source code, which was released fairly recently. And let's see, let's flip through the README here, since this actually came with the README.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's better than Microsoft.
Wow.
Imagine that. But let's see, if we flip through here, let me get to the right page. It's like the main guys here. Oh man, I'm going to kill these names if I try to read them.
Just say Arnie, Victor, Matt, and Nate.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Thanks, Arnie, Victor, Matt, and Nate.
Sorry about that. Anyway, D1X is a recompiled version of the Descent 1 source code with all kinds of really, really cool stuff added in. They've taken out or fixed a few of the bugs and whatnot. Flip through here real quick.
Added some nice multiplayer features.
Yeah. As far as multiplayer commands, some of the multiplayer commands, you can ignore people, you can do pings, you can kick people, you can temporarily disconnect players from your game.
Get rid of those ghost chips and stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. One main thing, and I'm very happy about this being a Pentium 2 owner, is that homing missiles now...
It's okay to say Homer, man. That's what they are. It's a Homer. Say Homer.
...are not really based on your frame rate. So somebody playing on a P90 doesn't have the super advantage of being able just to look away a homer anymore. Where on on a P2 300 like I have, there is just no way to dodge a homing.
That homer has your ass.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean you can go to the next level and you'll still get hit by the homer.
It'll come through right after you. It's a bitch.
Let's see, the bug fixes, you can't do the charge up the fusion, switch to another gun, then switch back and the fusion's still charged. What else was cool and new and fixed in here? Let's see. Oh, is short packets. If the server sets up a game and you have yours set up for short packets, and you connect to the server will automatically adjust for that. It's pretty cool.
Right, it's nice little network auto synchronization, which helps out.
Yeah, it's pretty badass, and they were having some trouble with some people with the sound because they're using the Allegro sound library, since the original sound library was somebody else's property, so they couldn't give it away with the source. But I downloaded it, unzipped it, ran it, works fine.
Sounds great on mine. I mean, you got to have standard sound equipment, I'm sure. Nothing.
Yeah, no $10 sound cards like the guy that Uberfest that they ran the Sin demo on his machine and wound up having to rip out his
half of his hardware on the floor.
Yeah, it was terrible. But yeah, definitely check out D1X. That's available over at http://megaera.library.unt.edu/sekmu/D1X.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Wow, that was a mouthful. Try saying that 3 times fast. In internet news today, the Cult of the Dead Cow has recently released a nice little hack utility called Back Orifice, which is obviously a takeoff of Microsoft's Back Office suite. At any rate, it's a nasty little program that it's set up like a client server. You basically get emailed a 128K attachment, and someone says, hey, this is cool, run this. It runs on your machine, it silent installs, deletes itself when it's done, and basically allows anybody with the will and know-how on the other end to do anything they want to your machine. Nasty stuff, registry hacks that can close programs, open programs, whatever, delete any damn thing they want. So, this is just sort of a heads up.
Yeah, this is the public service announcement of the PyroPimps show this week.
There you go. So if you know anybody who's a hacker or you get a strange email who you don't know who the hell it's from with a nifty little attachment, be wary.
I mean, is there any clue as to like what the attachment might be called? Is there any specific file name or message subject line?
You could rename the message to anything you want, or rename the file name, to anything you want. For that matter, you could attach the executable inside another executable. And that's the demon of the whole thing, is that you can hide it any way you want. And as long as it's actually double-clicked, you're screwed.
Well, I just hope nobody listening to this show is dumb enough to get an email with an executable attached to it and actually run it.
Yeah.
Speaking of cows, we have some news from the folks over at PlanetUnreal.com. There is a new capture type mod out for Unreal called Capture the Cow. And this is basically the same thing, I guess, as Capture the Flag, but instead you use the little cow guys that are in there. There's like rabbits and then the cows in Unreal. It's got to be pretty fun just from the name. It's kind of like Capture the Chicken thing for Quake 2. But check it out. It's planetunreal.com/moo, M-O-O.
Hey, just the mental imagery of running around with a cow and trying to keep other people from stealing your cow.
Well, I think you can accidentally kill the cow, too.
So, like, if you drop the cow, you lose score or something like that?
I guess you'd have to be careful. If your teammate has the cow, you don't want to, shoot around him because you could jib the cow.
So, like, if you grab the cow and go hide with it somewhere, is that considered like milking the cow?
No, that's considered bestiality.
That's the fact, Jack!
When whippoorwill call, and evening is night, I hurry to my blue heaven.
Okay, folks, we got a nice special interview here. We got the webmaster of the popular Blues News site here. Let's give a big hand for Blue.
Hello.
Let's start out. Just tell us a little bit about yourself here, Blue.
Well, I live in New York, and I do the Blues News site, that's for, like, gaming news.
So tell us, how exactly did you get started doing Blues News? I mean, did it just fall into your lap, or what?
Well, I started off as a porn site, and lots of stuff on there for, like, naked people. After a while, I started doing game news.
So it was a gaming thing that drew you to the Quake community, so to speak.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay. Well, how long has your page been up and running?
The porn site has been up for about 4 years, but for the gaming stuff, about 2 years. A little over 2 years.
Now, I know a lot of the gamers out there are probably wondering, how did you come about the name Blue?
Well, they came from back in elementary and middle school. I got beat up on a lot. Pretty much everybody, even the girls, were bigger than me, and I'd go home every day with lots of black and blue marks, but more blue. Black.
Okay, so you were indeed blue, so hence the name.
Yeah, it was a really bad time in my life. So if we could just move to the next question.
I understand. Well, I also know that you do another real audio show. Used to be referred to as QuakeCast. Now it's Shooters.
Yes, it's called Shooters. It's a lot of fun. It's live, but it's nowhere the quality or the humor that y'all show really brings out.
Right. Well, we appreciate that coming from someone of your caliber.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool for you to say that.
What's caliber mean?
Just look it up. Well, thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. That was Blue from Blues News coming at you here, and thanks for joining us, Blue.
You're more than welcome. I'll call just anytime. Anytime you guys want me to call, I'll call and do an interview. Thank you.
Thanks, Blue.
We'd like to add a little disclaimer here to that last interview segment of the show.
A little save our butts sort of thing.
That honestly was not really Blue, but you could have probably figured that out just from the interview. We emailed back and forth with Blue. He agreed to do the interview, and we sat here for like 30, 40 minutes tonight waiting.
Scratching our butts.
Yeah, scratching our butts, smoking 24, 30 cigarettes, waiting for him to call, and he bailed.
So we had to rag him a little bit. You can all understand that. Please, Blue, no lawyers.
We have, we're going to try to make up for it next week, because next week we're going to have the Uber interview with a bunch of the Outrage guys. So sorry for no interview this week, but it was kind of out of our control.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a bummer, but such is life.
My rant for this week is about how Quake servers, not only Quake 2, but Quake World, anything, nobody seems to be running any custom maps. I've seen maybe one or two that are actually running custom maps, but every server, running Rocket Arena, there's only the original Rocket Arena maps. All the DM servers are running either the original DM, Q2 DM, whatever levels, or just cycling through the levels in the game playing DM. There are a plethora.
Jefe, what is a plethora?
Of DM maps out there that the users are creating, and some of them are just top quality, ID quality maps, or I'm sorry, it's ID quality maps that, would be just as fun. It would be cool to learn some new maps. The only downside, that I can see is that some people get on there and they play the same maps over and over. They kind of master them. They know them so well, they don't really want to learn anything new. Hopefully my buddy Neitzel out there will get some of my maps and, get them up on a server. Or, Descentile said he has room for a server. So hopefully we can start a trend here on the PyroPimp show to get Quake servers running custom maps, because I'm pretty damn tired of playing, the Lava Tomb map in Quake 2. There's only so many times you can fall in the lava on that stupid map.
Can you imagine, like, if in Descent, if all of Spaz's maps hadn't been played? Can you imagine a world without Minerva?
What a wonderful world.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is Minerva and Keg Party. Hello, everybody. Those maps are played out. Stop playing Minerva and Keg Party. There's about 1 million versions of Minerva. Don't play any of them. Somebody needs to write a virus that you get on Kali, and it just erases Minerva off of everybody's hard drive. Anything that's MINE, star. Just get rid of all of the Minervas, because the map's old, it's played out. Stop playing it.
I thought Minerva was a virus. Alright, folks, here's my rant for this week. I hate spam. Damn, I hate spam. Spam, 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 spam. Damn spam.
What? Aren't you spamming right there, though?
Exactly. My point is, people hop in games, Kali chat channels, whatever, and just flood the cyber airwaves, or whatever you want to call them, with trash, and it gets really old. And I know all of you out there have seen this, or even done this, and if you have, damn you! So, stop the damn spam!
I've been a good sport about this up till now, but that boy's forcing me to use stronger measures.
Well, that about wraps it up for the third installment of PyroPimps. It was fun sitting in for Kyle, and next week we're going to have some stuff. Why don't you tell us about it, John?
Woohoo! Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of the Outrage guys. We're going to try to do some kind of a mass interview with them, where we're going to get like the whole company or something on the phone all at once, and
it'll be like a party line.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be like a 1-900 line to Outrage, so see what happens with that.
Oh, and one final note. Back in regards to way back earlier in the show, if you remember right, I said that there was no README or no documentation about DirectX 6. Well, since the first recording of the show, guess what Microsoft did? It's there now. So if you want to find out what it's about, go to Microsoft.com/DirectX.
Yeah, they knew we were gonna rag on them about it, so they quickly threw it up on the site and said it's always been there.
They called the psychic hotline. They just knew.
So thanks for tuning in, y'all, and we'll check y'all next week.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in hell.
PyroPimps.